to make your full moon project, you can use a piece of the inside of a cereal box like this here, or you can even just use a piece of paper to glue a collage onto, or paint the moon on there. First, trace a large circle onto your board or paper and then cut it out. Next, I want you to find some pages from an old catalog or newspaper, something that has a lot of black and white writing on it. We're going to use these pieces to collage the moon. So I want you to just tear small pieces out and kind of sort them by value. And what I mean by value is like a variation between light to dark. Like you have a darker value on here because the background is gray, and a lighter value where the paper is just white or the writing is farther apart. So depending on the density of the writing or the color of your paper, it will have a different value and give the moon you're making sort of a texture. So you'll just tear out pieces of paper and set them aside. There's a really light value. Where I have the writing here, that's a little bit of a darker value. So you'll just tear pieces off and sort them by if you think it's a lighter value or darker. Keep tearing it apart. As you can see, I have separated some light value, some much darker ones over here, kind of medium tones. I also got out some of these cool colors, which you can also use in your collage. You don't, however, want to use a lot of warm colors. It should stay kind of in gray tones and cool tones. Now it's time to collage it. You can do yours with a glue stick by covering the whole thing with glue, or liquid glue where you brush the glue on. I'm going to do mine with liquid glue. If you do it this way also, it's very important to make sure that you clean your brush thoroughly when you're done so you don't have a hard paintbrush that you can't use to paint with. I usually do this by soaking it in water overnight and then rinsing it and washing it with soap and water when I'm done. So wait till your glue goes down to the bottom. And then I took another piece of that scrap paper from the catalog, and I'm just gonna squeeze a little pile of glue onto there, and that's what I'm gonna use to paint with. So just squeeze a pile of glue. I'm not gonna use too much because I can always put more. I just don't want to squeeze out a lot so it gets wasted. Now what you'll do is paint glue onto this and then put your color of paper. I'm going to try to make a gradient from light to dark this way and maybe mix in, let's see, maybe I'll put one side blue and kind of go light to dark towards the blue. So I'll start light over here. So get some glue on that brush and brush it on here. I usually fill up kind of a big area and then start filling it in. So I'm going to try to do the lightest pieces over here first and then work its way to darker. So the ones that just have white on here, I'm going to put on this edge, and then if they have a little bit of writing, I'll put a little farther in. But the really dark ones I only want to put in one place. Sometimes I paint a little bit of glue over the top to help it stick down. Just be careful, it'll get all over your fingers. Now I'm going to fill up the whole thing. paint a little bit of glue on the top of pieces if they're coming off, and then wait for the whole thing to dry. When it's all the way dry, you can use your scissors to trim all the little bits off of the edge so it's nice and round, just like this. And then if you want, you can take something like a crayon and draw just around the outside to give it some depth. Now, when you're done, decide which way you want to be the top and the bottom. I think I'm gonna put mine this way. No, this way. So this is gonna be the top and the bottom. And I'm gonna punch a hole in the top. If you don't wanna do this, that's okay. You can pin it to your wall, but if you wanna hang it up, you can punch a hole in the top with a hole punch, or take your string, fold it in half so the two ends line up, and then this end is the one that's going to go through the hole. So you'll take the loop and then push it through that hole from the back like this, and then the tails are going to go through that. So the loop goes through, and then you find the two tails over here, and then the two tails you push through that loop like that, and then you pull it all the way tight, and voila. The next thing that you can do to make sure this hangs up is tie a knot at the end of this yarn. So it's different than tying two strings together like this. You can actually just tie one knot in these two strings together. Let me show you how we do that. So to do that, you make a loop around your fingers like this, and then you're gonna tuck the yarn in, and then pull it through right here, and then pull that tight. So you make a loop like this, and then these two tails will go through the loop and pull it tight. So now you have a beautiful moon collage that you can hang from anywhere in your house.